park alone. Legs are heavier with those fanatics on your shoes. Shake them free and please see us in the morning. If you're closer, mostly remembering it needs. It's long but I don't love you, I don't want to be accepted. It's long but I don't love you, I just don't want to be restless at night. Can you tell we've not been interviewed before? It's like confession. That's not convincing, is that? I mean, it's something that we enjoy, and I think unless you're doing very well, it's, you know, it can become something that you don't enjoy if you're depending on it to make money. If you see what I mean by that.
Yeah, when I first started writing about music, well, no, before I ever started writing about music, the girl I was seeing at the time said to me, "Oh, you should think of becoming a music reviewer. You love music and you write and stuff like that."
Yeah.
And I said, "Why the fuck would I turn something I really enjoy into a profession and risk taking all the fun out of it?"
Yeah, it's a bit like that. This is, you know, this is something that I do for my sanity's sake, really. You know, and it might turn into insanity if I come to depend on it financially. You know, it's a separate thing from sort of getting by and that sort of thing. You know.
So, in terms of the album release itself, I mean, what are you sort of expecting from people? Have you really thought about that much? I mean, is it just a case of fire it out, and if anybody likes it, that's nice. But
it would be nice if people liked it, yeah, rather than not liking it. You know, I suppose, you know, play gigs and hopefully people respond to that and buy the album and that sort of thing. And you never know, they might recommend it to their friends and that sort of thing. But I don't know. I've never been in a band that was about trying to play as many gigs as possible in a week and getting treated like dirt by promoters just for the sort of the fantasy of getting signed to a major label or anything like that. You know, that's never struck me as something that's desirable at all. It's like
because I remember Johnny saying something about the issue with Down the Tiny Steps is you decided you weren't prepared. One of the issues was that you decided at some point you weren't prepared to keep trying to hawk yourself to labels and.
Yeah, it was just getting me really down. I don't know. I without wanting to be unfair to the guys or anything like that, I don't know. There was just there was very much this kind of sense of purpose, maybe for them more than me, and just the more I don't know. I guess the gigs that we built up to be the important ones or whatever always turned out to be the ones that were least enjoyable and things, and it was really getting to me.
Cannot see or hear, they still have feelings, a light sensitivity to help them find their way. A loose net of nerves helps detect other creatures and live another day. So when she found me sinking and her words came through wet, I closed my ears and withdrew until my brain turned to jelly. But when I came to, her lips met mine, and yet they belonged to see my Sergio
This is Inspector Tapehead, whose 2008 debut album will be released in a couple of weeks. Did you really think it was going to be summer 2008? I mean, or were you trying to force yourselves to get moving?
That was optimistic. We didn't even, when we said it was going to be released summer 2008, we only had 6 songs, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, that is actually right.
So that was very optimistic, given that we only had half an album's worth.
You'd only written 6 songs.
Yeah, we'd only recorded 3 and we'd only written 6. So the idea was just to sort of get a move on. No, it was. I think the problem was not that it did take a long time, but I think just that we were overly optimistic in the first place, saying it was going to be released within months of us recording the first 3 songs, which was half our sort of repertoire at the time.
I take it you don't write very fast then, in general.
No, 3 songs a year I average or something like that. Or
I don't know, the past couple of months you've written about 3 songs.
Oh, I know, but that's probably
Is that it for the year?
Yeah, well, I'm taking a holiday now.
It's probably just relief at the album being finished.
Yeah, that was it, yeah, that was sort of hanging over us a bit for a bit, yeah.
The record is very layered. There's lots and lots of things on there. But how much do you actually take out when it comes to producing it live? Is there a lot?
A lot of it. I mean, there is loads of stuff. But to be honest, Chris has got a lot more overdubs on the record than I do.
I got carried away
because he's obviously playing guitar all the time, and then things like the Juno and other stuff. But I mean, I did try and keep it to this a lot. I can't.
There are some songs that are pretty much exactly as we do them live.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yarville.
And then there's other
no,
bits.
sorry, that's hard.
So it's not too hard. And
Half an
like
orchestra on it and a ride piano.
Like I was saying, it's a challenge to not stray too much, because it did start for me as a live project, not really a recording project. And I guess that was just because I was having to choose what I was going to use and be quite economical with the sound and stuff. So yeah.
And is that? Is it much of a discipline really to translate them, or how do they start out? Do they start out closer to what we're hearing here?
Well, we actually recorded most of them live, with the sort of drums, guitar and keyboard being laid down simultaneously. Again, that was like a time thing as much as anything else. And I normally had a list of things that I'd like to try and overdub in the course of a weekend. But the time restraint was quite a good way of making sure I didn't go too overboard with that.
If we insist on having